in Aruba for the ultimate poker vacation. Come for the ocean, stay for the river on the World Poker Tour.
The World Poker Tour is a series of international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games,
I can't tell you how much fun I had.
the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. Tonight in Aruba, 6 players battle it out on the beach for a prize pool worth $4 million. It's poker in paradise here on the World Poker Tour.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Caribbean, or as the locals like to say, Bone Beanie. I'm Mike Sexton alongside Vince Van Patten, and this is the finals of the Aruba Poker Classic.
That's right, and Mike, once again, the poker world has invaded this beautiful country, 12 degrees north of the equator, just off the Venezuelan coast. It's gorgeous.
Well, thanks for the geography lesson, Vince, but we're here for the poker, my friend.
That's right.
And serious poker it is. The prize pool for this event is $4 million, with the winner taking home a cool $1 million. 647 players entered this event, and most of them won this ultimate vacation and their entry fee online.
That's right, Mike, and I can't believe we are in such a beautiful place, and yet the poker players, they're holed up in the casino, they're playing poker nonstop. These are my kind of people.
Yeah, but with this kind of prize money and the chance to become the next WPT millionaire, who can really blame them? And come on now, do you really want to see Doyle Brunson in a swimsuit?
Maybe I do. I am kind of lonely down here. No, but seriously, how can we be lonely when we're at the gorgeous Playa Linda Beach Resort, having a good time, getting tan, and we're down to the final 6?
And what a final table it is. Let's meet the players.
All right. Sitting in seat number 4 from Las Vegas, Nevada, is 36-year-old poker pro Mike Matusow. Mike is known on the poker circuit for his verbal jabs and whining, but you gotta like this guy. Let's see if he can talk, whine, and complain his way to victory today.
Next, we have a doctor in the house, Dr. Vic Five from Clinton, Oklahoma. He won his way into this tournament by winning a satellite online for $27. And Vince, he's only been playing poker for 6 months.
Incredible. Now, with a little over $1.3 million in chips, is 27-year-old poker pro Patrick McMillan. Today, in sunny Aruba, he's got the chance to swim with the Caribbean's biggest poker sharks.
And one of those sharks is a familiar face on the World Poker Tour. He's 33-year-old John Juanda. John has made it to an astounding 5 final tables on the WPT. He's never won, but maybe today will be his day in the sun.
Okay, and our second in command right now is Eric Brenes. He's got $1.4 million in chips. Now, his brother is poker great and former WPT finalist Umberto Brenes.
And our chip leader in C2 is one of the best no-limit hold'em poker players in the world, 35-year-old Lane Flack. Flack is back. Let's see if he can capture his second WPT title tonight.
Well, let's bring out the sunblock. We're about ready to go. Mike, let's talk about the odds.
Well, tough final table.
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for John Juanda's game, but I got to tell you, Vince, I'm going with Lane Flack to win. I look for Lane to pick up his second World Poker Tour title tonight.
Okay, you are going with the favorite once again. That's very interesting. I'm going with Johnny Juanda. Now, before we get started, tonight, for the first time on the World Poker Tour, the first person to get busted out is going to get the Unhappy Coconut Award. That's Mike is going to present. Mike, who do you like for that?
Don't count me in on the Coconut Award, Vince. This is your baby. You're going to have to handle it.
All right, I'm going to lay a little low on that, too. We will see. Let's go to the table. Let's have some fun. We are in the land of Margaritaville. It'll be a $3,000 ante with the blinds, $15,000 and $30,000 right now.
So even though the players bought in for $6,000 each or won their way online to get this entry, all players started with $12,000 in chips. So even though the blinds seem pretty high, Vince, they've really got time to play here.
And we're playing No Limit Texas Hold'em, 2 in your hand, 5 community cards in the middle. And it's going to be on Lane Flack, who quickly tosses away a 10-4.
And here comes John Juanda, and what a roll this guy's on. His third final table of this season already, and he's going to raise it right off the bat with 2 sevens. Comes in for $90,000.
Nice starting hand. A wired pair of 7s into Mike Matusow, who's got King Jack.
And look at this on the short stack. Puts in $90,000. He has come to play here, Vince.
Around to Patrick McMillan. Does not want to play Queen 4.
Eric Brenes folds his hand, as does Dr. Five.
Heads up action. First hand. Johnny Juanda against Mike the Mouth.
John Juanda staring at Mike Matusow already.
They want to get a tell on each other. Here's the flop, and that's good for Mike.
Yes, it is. He's flopped top pair. Let's see how John's going to play his 2 sevens now. He checks.
And the low man on the totem pole with the jacks now betting right into Johnny.
Well, he may be the short stack, but Vince, he told me before play started today, he has come to win this thing. If he goes out 6th, 5th, or 4th, so be it.
He said he was going to take a lot of chances, and he does with King Jack.
His mission is to win. He's going to try to get a hold of chips. And there you have it. Mike Manasow picking up the first pot here. Just exactly what he needs to do.
Pumping his fist at the end of that.
I'm telling you, if he wins a few pot, folks, go ahead and put your earplugs in. You'll be hearing from the guy.
You're basically playing outside here. Look at this. Beautiful palm trees in the background.
Well, as beautiful as it is, I guarantee you these 6 guys, they're focused on the game at hand because they're playing for $1 million.
God dang.
It's going to be on the mouth.
If I raise this one, y'all think I better just play good.
This time he goes out with ace-deuce.
Patrick lays his hand down.
Eric Brendis has picked up big slick. He's got a big hand here.
Raise. And he's going to raise it. Comes in for $110,000, it looks like, yes.
Makes the right raise with a strong hand right into Vic Fi, who's got ace-jack.
Call.
And he's going to call it.
Yes, he is.
Quick action right now. Pot building here. Lane flat quickly going out into Johnny Juanda.
John Juanda has 30,000 out there. Remember, he's in the big blind. But what he's thinking is that these 2 guys are probably the 2 tightest players at the table. I'm going to give him some respect here. He lays down the 9-7 of diamonds.
So two-way action. Ace-king versus ace-jack. Very early on here in Aruba. Here's the flop.
The flop is 4-4-3.
Helps neither player.
Action's on Eric, and he checks.
Nick Fi trying to figure out what that means.
60.
He's going to bet 60,000.
He's got to make a little stab at this.
Well, it is a little stab, Vince. There's over 280,000 in the pot. And that's exactly what's going through Eric Brendis' mind right now. Why is the guy betting so little here?
Well, it's interesting. Eric chooses to check after raising with his ace-king. And now he's got himself into a little bit of a fix. He is out in front. We know that now.
Is there a chance that his opponent has a pair? That's what he's wondering about. Or is he just making a move on me here?
This doctor from Oklahoma with just ace-high. Taking a shot here. Can he get Eric to lay this hand down? Look at this. He's going to raise it, Mike.
He is going to come over the top, as we say. He is going to re-raise Dr. Fi.
Oh.
This is bold poker here.
Oh, take that hypodermic right back in at you.
120,000 more.
Dr. Fi going out.
You got to give the guy from Costa Rica some credit there. He made a great read on the size of that bet that Dr. Fi made. Came over the top of him and picked up that pot.
Eric Brendis, Costa Rican card shark.
My name is Eric Brenes. I am from Costa Rica, and I am a businessman. Because of Humberto, I was down at the club, and we would practice. Humberto now plays a lot. I play a little, but not that much.
Good poker instincts. This guy mixes up his game beautifully.
Thank you.
Gets the doctor where he wants him.
In Aruba, the water's warm and the cards are hot. Stay tuned for more here on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are in sunny Aruba playing some poker.
Eric Brendis is now our chip leader. He's got about 1.5 million, and there will be a new millionaire crowned here on the World Poker Tour. Will it be Lane Flack, who's already taken one World Poker Tour title? He is at this table. He's got a lot of chips.
Every player has over $1 million in chips. This is going to be some contest.
We got pros and amateurs here, all going after $1 million. Eric Brendis looks down into 6-4 offsuit. He's not interested. He throws it away.
Dr. Fi quickly folds after losing that last pot.
But here comes Lane Flack with just a jack-9.
And just calls the big blind, doesn't raise it.
Johnny going out, Mike's out.
Patrick says, okay, give us a flop.
So we have King 10 versus Jack 9. Quick action here.
And here comes the flop. The flop is ace 7-4. No help to either player. Patrick checks. And Lane quickly bets 80,000.
He is aggressive. He is going to bet this with absolutely nothing.
Now what's going through Patrick's mind is he's thinking, hey, if this guy had an ace, wouldn't he have raised before the flop? Especially an aggressive player like Lane. But on the other hand, Patrick only has king high here. But you can sense that he smells Lane's up to something.
I'm gonna raise.
He is going to raise it, Vince. He's coming over the top of Lane Flack, the chip leader here, with just king high.
Just a great read on Lane right now.
He's going to make it 200,000 straight. Just straight into the teeth of Lane Flack.
And Lane has had enough. He throws his hand away. Beautiful play by Patrick McMillan.
Vince, I'll tell you one thing. He's saying to himself, hey, you may be a World Poker Tour champion, but I'll tell you, we play a little poker down in Tennessee ourselves.
That's a great play. His wife is in the audience on the sidelines. Patrick McMillan taking that pot.
I kind of had a rough home life growing up. I went to school until 2 days after I was 16. I moved out of my parents' house, and I've been on my own ever since. I have a wife, the greatest woman in the world. I put up with my way of living, and I have a newborn son. And he is the most beautiful, radiant little boy you'd ever see in your whole life. Through all my life lessons, one thing I've always prided myself on is I am a very honest person. I won't cheat nobody. I don't steal nothing. And I'll be as fair as I can ever be with anybody. I think that's a pretty good quality to have in a person, and that's what I want to instill in my son.
Action's going to be on Mike the Mouth Madison.
In his very colorful shirt, looking very sharp today. He has a pair of fours. Looking very excited.
Now, many players wouldn't want to play a small pair in early position, but not Mike the Mouth. He comes in for 90,000.
He's going to push it. Patrick McMillan going out. Eric quickly going out.
And look at this. Vic Fi has picked up 2 kings on the button, and Vince, he's not messing around. He's betting 400,000.
Oh, yeah, he is saying, take that with your 2 Ashburns and go to bed. Right into Lane. Lane quickly goes out.
He goes to bed, as does John Juanda.
How much?
Now back into the mouth.
400,000?
Mike Madison with his little pair of fours.
Dimes?
400 dimes, he's saying.
That's a lot of chips.
What Mike is assessing here is how many chips this guy's going to have left if he decides to go all in here. He sees that Vic 5 will be pot committed, as we say.
How many chips is that?
In other words, if he raises it, he's going to put in the remainder of his chips.
He's doing a little talking now. He's going to finally lay the hand down. A very wise lay down by Mike Madison. He absolutely believed Dr. Fi.
That's a good thing he did.
He would have been up against it.
He could have been out paddling his canoe out there in the ocean you see behind him.
Well, it would have been banana boat time for Mike Madison.
But Dr. Fi, Vince, what can you say about this guy? He qualified online to get in this tournament. He's only been playing poker for 6 months, and yet here he is at a final table of a World Poker Tour event. Amazing.
Delivering babies, I don't get to watch a lot of television, so I don't know who these pros are. I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage.
I don't know anything.
And I don't want to hurt their feelings. They're good players. I just don't know who the pros are, so I'm not as intimidated by them. I'm Vic Fi, a physician from Clinton, Oklahoma.
This time, Dr. Fi just giving a house call there to Mike Madison.
He's operating on him a little bit.
That was just well done.
Action's on John Juanda. So 7-6, folds it.
Not going to play into Mike Madison. This time he's got ace-8 offsuit.
He just got re-raised the last time he came into a pot. It's not going to slow him down. Here he comes for 90,000 with ace-8 offsuit.
Patrick out. Eric going out. Now it's back into Dr. Fi. Sounds kind of menacing, that name.
Now Dr. Fi just won the last pot off Mike Madison.
He's got 10-4 offsuit. He's got a little money in.
How much you got, Mike?
Look at this. He says, how much have you got there?
Oh, boy.
Is he contemplating making a move on the guy here?
He's got a lot of tricks in his black bag. Who is this doctor?
And he decides to lay it down.
Back to reality.
Now Lane Flack has picked up ace-9 of diamonds in the big blind, and he's going to call.
That's a real hand.
Well, here we go. A pot between Lane and Mike. Lane with ace-9. Mike with ace-8.
5 cards to come. Here's the flop.
Flop is 10-3 deuce with 2 hearts. No help to either player. Lane checks.
90.
Mike is betting 90,000, not slowing down.
You gotta respect this bet.
What's Lane thinking about, Vince? He's got none of this flop.
No, he doesn't, but look at this. He's gonna speculate.
Yes, he is. He's called him here. Now this tells me that he may be trying to set this up to take the pot away from Mike later on. Let's see what happens. Ooh, now an ace comes off on the turn.
Man, that helps both players. Lane's going to check this, though. He's hit his aces. His second card, the kicker, being bigger, of course, than Mike's.
But Mike has also made 2 aces.
Oh, and he's going to bet it. He's excited.
And he made a move to start with, and now he's made 2 aces, so he's going to bet. He makes it $180,000 to go. Let's see how Lane's going to play it.
Oh, and Lane is going to check his man out.
He's just going to call it. So he calls $180,000. Oh, Mike is wondering, what's this guy got now? Checked and called me twice.
Nice pot developing here between 2 guys with aces. Battle of the kickers. Last card coming up.
Ooh, it's the king of hearts. Now, probably neither player going to like that card because a possible flush is out there.
Look at this. They both check it down.
Lane's kicker is going to win this pot for him. Now, folks, that is reading your opponent just like an open book.
Called 90 on the flop with no pair, no draw.
Don't get angry. Get even, Mike.
The only way I could lose the pot is if ace rolls off.
He's wondering, wow, how'd this guy call me on the flop there?
There's a lot of bitterness coming out of him right now.
Another 2-outer I got beat with.
Talking to himself.
It's the truth. You can't. I'm moving in if the ace don't roll out.
I'll check raising.
How can you check raise when I move all in?
You were moving in.
I wasn't on the turn. You crazy?
See, Mike gives you a little show. He doesn't just play poker. He gives the audience a little show, a little flair. You gotta love that.
But in the meantime, Lane is stacking the chips.
We'll be back with more from Aruba when we return on the World Poker Tour.
I am. You're going.
Come on!
Oh! You got it now.
Back to the World Poker Tour. We are at the beautiful Playa Linda Resort. $1 million at stake. WPT title. Back to the man from Tennessee, Patrick McMillan. He's got a lot of chips, $1.5 million. He's got a suited connector this time, 9-10 of hearts.
But he's in first position, and he opts to fold.
Eric Brennis throws away Jack-8.
Dr. Fry lays his hand down.
Round Lane, he's got ace-queen this time.
He pops it up to $120,000. John folds.
Hell with it.
Yeah, there we go. Well, it's the clash we expected between Mike Matusow and Lane Flack.
Mike Matusow with ace-king has gone all in. But Lane quickly called him with the ace-queen.
So this is hand versus hand. And this time, Mike Matusow is going to love his position right now. He's got ace-king. He's up against ace-queen.
Same World Series situation, except this time, ain't no queen coming.
Now this would eliminate Mike if he should get unlucky.
Well, Mike only has a total of $350,000 in chips. So certainly Lane is obligated to call the re-raise there. Both players have a hand. Right now, Mike Matusow, the big favorite to double up.
I saw this
Yes,
a little about a couple
but
months
strange
ago.
things happen in this game of Hold'em.
Where's the love?
Don't do it to yourself. Does a little dance. He's got big slick.
Well, they reach over and hold hands. Just a little sporting gesture there. Mike Matusow knows his tournament life is on the line here. If he loses this pot, he is out.
But I'll tell you right now, he is a favorite to double up here.
Yes, he is. He's in great shape to double up and get right back in the hunt in this tournament.
Here we go again. The same scenario I'm in every tournament.
This is a man that really believes he's the best poker player in the world,
Just
and
put
he
a
is
king
a
in the
great
window
one.
so I don't have to sweat.
But he also believes he's jinxed, Vince.
King.
He believes the gods
Right in the
frown
window,
upon him
king.
and he loses these hands.
Here comes the flop.
Well, it's Jack 7-3.
So far, no jinx for Mike.
Right now, Lane needs a queen or two running
king.
cards to make a
King will
straight
give
to
him an
win
out.
this pot.
Unless a queen comes or two to a straight,
Mike,
looks like
can't
Mike
wipe
is
the
going to
smile
double
off
up.
his
Turn one
face
more
there.
card, please.
2 cards to come. Here's the turn. Another good one for Mike.
It ain't coming this time, boys. No way.
He is already celebrating, but 1 card to come. Lane has 1 out. Flack would love the queen. Here's the river.
Well, he doesn't get it. The deuce comes off.
Mike Matusow celebrating almost by himself there, it seems like. He is doubled up. He is definitely on a bipolar ride.
Well, Lane Flack, a very popular player out here. You just sense the crowd was rooting for him, but in the meantime, Mike Matusow has doubled up.
Raking in the chips. Short stack turning into a bigger stack.
Well, a nice pot it was. Nearly 750,000 in that pot. Lane still our chip leader with a little over $1.5 million in chips, but 4 other players also have over $1 million. The short stack right now, Mike Matusow, but he just doubled up, so he's feeling good.
It is one close horse race here. Right now it's on Lane Fleck, the chip leader. Let's look at his hand.
He's got ace deuce offsuit. He's in first position here.
But he does not care. He's going to call it. Johnny Jawanda with a 10-9 offsuit. Not going to play.
Mike Matusow quickly calls with king queen.
Patrick Vermillion has an 8-5. He chucks his hand. On to Eric. Jack deuce in his hand.
Throws his cards away. Vic 5 with an ace king is going to raise it here. You can't blame him for raising with this hand. He makes it 130,000 to go.
Doctor's got big slick. Lane looks confused. The problem with coming in with a marginal hand under the gun in third position.
Lane opts to fold his hand, and wisely so.
But Mike, who's on the short stack, is going to call the raise.
Yes, he does. He calls the $100,000 raise here. So here we go. Right now, Dr. Fine in great shape with ace king. Mike Matusow with king queen. Here comes a flop. 6-6-4.
Helps neither player.
Action's on Dr. Fine. And he checks.
All in.
And Mike Matusow is going to go all in with this bet.
Doesn't blink an eye. Quickly moves all in. An amazingly bold bet by Mike Matusow.
He is just picking his spot here with just king high.
Dr. Fine in a predicament now as to what to do. He checked on the flop. His opponent moved all in. And even though we see he has the best hand, he's laying it down.
Going back to the office.
I had it, man. I had the king queen.
Mike Matusow showing him the king high here.
He's going to rub it in.
You got to just go for it, baby.
Oh, don't think I won't read you like a book for the day.
Just remember, nobody remembers who finishes second.
Poker blowhard at work, but just a brilliant bet. Mike Matusow yaps it up, but he is a great poker player. If you don't believe him, just ask him.
One time in my life, give me a jack.
Mike Matusow.
One time!
Ask anyone about Mike Matusow and they'll all agree. For better or worse, the Mouth is one of the most talked about players around.
Mike the Mouth, schizophrenic, but a nice guy.
Like Matusow, he plays very loud.
Almost every time, but not every time. My first nickname ever was Loudmouth Mike. One time! Motormouth Mike, which I hated. I said, nobody ever call me that or I'll kill him. And so Mike the Mouth was fine.
And with a nickname like the Mouth, Mike's anything but modest.
I think I'm probably the most well-liked person on the tour. Phil Ivey's a superstar. Superstar. Everybody thinks I got this big ego. I don't have this big ego like I'm the best. I'm a great poker player. And they're all going to see that. They all know it. 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, when I won every day, every single tournament, I walked around like I was mighty god of the poker world. Oh, baby! I've run so bad for 3 years. I've sat there and got my money and with a shot to win $10 million this year, played the best poker of my life, and miracles from God have come out of the sky to knock me out, and it bothers me. God! Yeah, it does bother me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I'm not jealous. I'm jealous because when I play great, I get screwed. Always, man! It's coming today. Don't worry, it's coming. Okay, I'm done. Able to win this tournament.
Many tournaments he gets a hold of a lot of chips, but for some reason he tips over the canoe somewhere down the stretch. Let's see if that happens today.
Back on Johnny Jawanda, and this time he's got a little pair of deuces.
God knows
he's not going to play them.
That's a good lesson. Fold a small pair in early position. He does so. Mike folds.
Patrick going out.
As does Eric.
Raise 100.
Look at this. Dr. Five for the second time in a row picks up ace king again, and again he raises it, makes it 100,000 to go.
Into Lane Flag. Now Lane's got a little money invested. He's got ace 5. What's he thinking?
I'll tell you what he's thinking. He just saw Mike Matusow needle this guy. He's wondering, is the guy embarrassed? Is he just trying to raise this pot just to be raising? Or does he really have a hand here?
Well, he's going to give him action. He's called this.
Well, Lane's going to look him up, as we say. He does call the raise.
The Doc in a good place. Ace king against ace 5. Here we go with the flop.
The flop comes jack 9-5. Now Lane's hit a pair of fives, but let's see how Dr. Five bets the ace king this time. Again, he checks.
Well, he didn't hit the flop. Lane with a piece of it is going to bet right into the dock.
Yep, Lane bets 120,000. Look at the dock staring him down here.
Call.
Look at this. He's going to make the call. He's going to get stubborn this time.
You know, for the second hand in a row, the guy raised before the flop with ace-king and then checked on the flop, and now he's calling this time.
2 cards to come. Pot developing. Here's the turn.
Oh, it's an ace.
Oh.
This gives the dock top pair with top kicker.
All in. Call.
He's quickly gone all in with it.
Well, Lane's got 2 pair and quickly calls him.
He has been trapped.
Wow. So right now, Dr. 5 is going to have to catch a king, a jack, or a 9. Otherwise, he's going to be out of this tournament in 6th place.
Lane is just saying, Doc, stick out your tongue and cough, because I got you here, man.
Well, he doesn't have him just yet. He's got to dodge a king, a jack, or a 9. But right now, Lane Flack in great position to win nearly a $2 million pot here.
River card to come. Doc, get the skidoo ready.
And bet you just wonder what would have happened had he let out and bet this flop with that ace-king instead of checked and called with it. Would Lane have called him with bottom pair?
Well, he didn't hit the flop. Very interesting. He's got some outs. Doc would be our 6th place finisher here. He needs a miracle.
So here we go to the river. It's a 5. Lane makes a full house. And that's going to do it for Dr. Vic Fry. He's going to have to go back to the clinic in Oklahoma.
Take the rubber glove off, shake hands, pick up 105,000, and go to the hammock.
See you in Las Vegas, right?
Let's go back and look at these last 2 hands that he played the ace-king with. Here's what I like. He raised both times before the flop with the ace-king. That was correct. But here's what I don't like. Once the flop came out there, the first hand it came 6-6-4. He checked when it was his turn to act. Mike Mattisau moved in and took the pot away from him. The second time, he did the same thing. The flop came jack 9-5. He checked. Lane bet. An ace came on the turn. Unfortunately for him, he got broke there.
All in. Call.
But the point is, because he didn't keep betting at the pots, he lost those pots where he might have won them. In poker, we have a saying, you just can't leave your children in the street. When there's chips out there and you raise before the flop, go ahead and fire at it.
It backfires playing big slick that way. Dr. Phi is our 6th place finisher.
Here it is, folks. The Coconut Award. The guy who goes out in 6th place on the World Poker Tour. This week, it goes to Big 5. Remember, they all get money. Only one man is fortunate enough to win the Coconut Award.
What did it feel like being there, sitting at the table with guys that you've seen at final tables before? Was it a little intimidating?
It's a little bit spooky, but they're nice guys. When it's all said and done, good people.
Why don't you leave that for him later in the room?
I think we'll present this to him a little bit later.
We're having fun here in Aruba at the Aruba Poker Classic. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on the World Poker Tour.
Aruba's like Fantasy Island. I'm waiting for Ricardo Montalban to show up.
It's an incredibly friendly island.
I mean, how bad can it be? You either win $1 million, so you get knocked out and you're in $1 million place.
Playing in Aruba is so different because once you're out of the poker room, you're on a tropical island, you can walk on the beach, you can do so many sports activities. It's just a whole different mindset.
We did a seminar where we got together a group of all the players, you know, Phil, me, Antonio, Devilfish. We're also lucky enough to have Ben Affleck participating. He's become a great poker player in his own right.
I got to meet Ben Affleck. I walked up to him, I said, it's nice to meet you, even though you're a Red Sox fan, because I hate the Red Sox more than anything in the world. But he was a nice guy, he laughed when I said that.
So we are down to 5 here in Aruba.
Lane Flack, still our monster chip leader now. He's got nearly $2.5 million worth of chips.
That's right, Mike. And the antes and blinds have gone up. We're talking about a $5,000 ante, and the blinds being $25,000 and $50,000. Action's going to be on the mouth. Mike Mattisau.
He folds.
Patrick McMillan with a 10-3 offsuit, not going to play.
Eric folds.
Now it's back into the Montana man, now living out of Vegas. Lane Flack, he's got big slick this time. Ace King of Hearts.
Just a monster hand in the small blind. He makes it $165,000 to go.
Into Johnny Jawanda, who's got an Ace-8 offsuit.
Well, what John's wondering is here, he knows the blinds and A's have gone up. He knows Lane's the big chip leader. Is he trying to make a move here? That's what John Jawanda's trying to figure out.
He's been very quiet this afternoon so far. Does not want to get pushed around too much. He's actually considering this.
Well, Lane's sitting over there like a statue. John looking him over, but does he think his ace high is the best hand?
Raise.
He is going to raise it.
Oh, boy.
John says re-raise.
You know Lane is going to play this pot for sure.
Potential debacle here for Johnny Jawanda. Johnny is just reading his man wrong on his right.
Well, let's see what he's going to raise it.
Right. 440,000.
$440,000 raise.
And Lane goes over the top. He's gone all in with it.
Well, John quickly calls him because he's getting the pot odds to do so. There's about 1.8 million in the pot. John has about 500,000 left, so a huge pot here, well over $2 million. And right now, John Jawanda,
get your Speedo ready.
He's in trouble.
Thought he could bully him out of this. He was wrong. Lane Flack having a big hand, but 5 cards to come. Here we go.
Well, here comes a flop. Oh, and a king comes right off, as does an 8.
So they both hit their pair, but obviously Lane is out in front with the kings.
Well, John Jawanda must catch an 8 if he wants to stay alive in this tournament.
2 cards to come.
Can he do it?
Needs a miracle. Here's the turn. No.
Well, he doesn't do it there.
That does not help Johnny Jawanda. He is 1 card away from elimination.
The guy who's made more final tables on the World Poker Tour than anyone else is in trouble here. He must catch an 8 to stay alive.
No, he's not going to do it. It is over.
So there you have it. What turns out to be a misread by John Jawanda eliminates him from this tournament. Vince, are you surprised he called the all-in bet of Lane right there?
Listen, it just goes to show you, even one of the greatest, Johnny Jawanda, they do make mistakes. He misread his opponent. He pays for it dearly.
Well, Vince, there's a case that knowing your opponent might have hurt you. He makes that play because he knows Lane is a very aggressive player, especially when he's got the chip lead. Certainly the ace could very well have been the best hand there. Unfortunately for John, it wasn't. He goes out in 5th place.
3 days of really intense poker. You get time to rest now?
Yep, but I was hoping to be able to play a couple more hours,
Yeah.
Before I go to rest, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Right now we are down to 4 players in Aruba. Right back into the action. Going to be on Lane Flack.
Oh, when you talk about money going to money here, look at this.
Your seatbelts. He's got the weapons of mass destruction here. Pair of aces. What a rush he's on.
Well, you're not kidding. He comes in for 160,000.
Now it's on Mike the Mouth, and he's got King Jack, and he doesn't believe him. He's saying, hey, you can't have hands all the time. He's called this.
Yes, he has. Patrick folds.
Now it's around to Eric Brennis. He's got a few dollars in the pot already. He's got ace-7.
That's the kind of hand you might consider playing against one opponent, but not 2. Eric wisely folds. So here we go. Lane Flack with 2 aces. Mike Mattisau with King Jack.
Lane on a rush here. Here's our flop.
Oh, and it comes King 3 deuce. Mike Mattisau is flop. Top pair here.
This could be a trouble pot for him.
300.
Lane's coming out.
Lane has the over pair. He's got the 2 aces. He bets 300,000.
All in.
Mike's gone over the top.
Lane quickly calls him.
Uh-oh. He's been called down, and Mike very disgusted. You can't blame him.
You can see the look on his face here, Vince. Right now he has to catch a king or a jack to take the lead and stay alive in this tournament.
Maybe I'll get lucky.
Oh, this is happening just too fast. Just like that, players getting eliminated in Aruba. Mike needs some miracle time here.
Stay tuned. We'll see who wins this showdown in just a moment when we continue on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. In Aruba, short stack Mike Mattisau needs a life preserver as he's all in with a pair of kings against chip leader Lane Flack's pocket aces.
Welcome back to Aruba on the World Poker Tour. We got a showdown here.
Oh, Lane Flack in great shape to win nearly another $2 million pot. He's got to dodge a king or a jack.
That's what I get with calling a raise with it. Four-handed, you know.
We're going to see the turn card.
One time, baby. Get me lucky.
Here's the turn card.
Well, the Queen of Hearts comes off. Now this gives both players a flush draw. What that means is the Jack of Hearts won't even help Mike Mattisau now.
He would be beat by the bigger flush. He is on the morphine drip right now.
Well, he's about a 9-1 underdog.
One time, let me get lucky, please.
Now he must catch a king or a jack. It's not a heart.
He needs a miracle.
Oh,
he got a king! He got it!
Vince, he caught the king.
Yes!
Look at this.
One time!
Well, look at him. He's going berserk.
Oh.
Yes!
Mike Mattisau celebrating unmercifully.
Vindication, baby!
And what a bad beat, as we say, for Lane Flack here. But notice how composed he is. I mean, he's not going crazy. He's not doing anything. He's taking this as well as you could.
Now even natives on other islands are aware of Mike Matisow's tremendous suck-out on the river.
Oh.
It is one of the great suck-outs of all time on the World Poker Tour. Mike Matisow has made it happen.
I knew it was coming.
Now Mike's coming over to talk to us.
I knew it was coming. You don't understand. I knew it.
And now he's saying that he was psychic about it.
Guess now we got a better chance of getting head up.
Mike Matisow hugging him now, but you don't see Lane hugging back.
I knew it was coming.
That's poker, folks.
I knew it was coming.
Even if you start with the best hand possible, two aces, doesn't mean you have to win the pots. You saw Mike Matisow outdraw Lane Flack right there, pick up nearly a $2 million pot, and folks, the game is on now.
Vindication!
And with that draw out that Mike Matisow just made on Lane Flack, he crosses the $2 million mark. He's in second chip position behind Lane, who has about $2.6 million. Eric with about $1.5 million. Patrick with a little over $1.4 million.
To Patrick right now, it's Jack 8 he has in his hand. He's not going to play it.
Eric quickly folds.
And to our man, Lane Flack. He's got King 5 of clubs. Well, he's called it. Now Mike with Ace 6 is going to see a flop as well. Here we go.
Same two guys that battled the last pot going at it again here. And an ace comes up.
Lane quickly checks it. Mike has hit his pair of aces on a mini rush here.
And he bet 60,000.
How sweet it is.
Now here's Lane. He's going to call 60,000. He doesn't think Mike has an ace because he didn't raise before the flop.
And he's Lane, and he'll play anything. Here's the turn card. It's a 3 of hearts.
Well, Lane has a wheel draw now. Forward, give him a straight. He checks.
They both checked.
Now for Lane to make the best hand, he's going to catch a 4 here.
River card comes up 10 of spades.
And here comes Lane. He's going to bluff at it.
Oh, an embarrassingly quick call by Mike.
Well, Mike calls him with the 2 aces, of course, and he picks up the pot. So Mike Matisow on a little heater now and doing some damage to Lane Flack.
Well, Lane Flack on a mini implode.
Lane making a strange call on the flop there. Now you have to wonder if losing that pot a minute ago didn't put him a little bit on tilt.
2 in a row on a nice little rush. Mike Matisow. He's still alive.
And he's moving in on that chip lead. Lane still has it, but not by much.
Action's right back on Mike. This time he lays down an 8-3.
Patrick McMillan out of Knoxville, Tennessee, looks down the king-queen on the button.
4-handed king-queen is a pretty good hand.
Well, I like the way he's played, Vince. He made a super play early to come over the top with nothing to pick up a pot. Here he's going to raise on the button.
Patrick opens pot for 160. Going to show the power. Eric going out. Back on Lane, who's got a miserable little 5-4 offsuit.
He is raising it, Vince.
Oh, boy.
You got to wonder, does he sense weakness on Patrick's part, or is he just on tilt here?
400.
400,000 more.
Going over the top with absolutely nothing.
And what Patrick is wondering is, does this guy really have a hand here, or is he just on tilt from those beats Mike Matisow just put on him?
Don't forget, Lane has the reputation of being a poker tramp. This time he has nothing. Bupkis, zip and pip.
Well, it's 400,000 more to Patrick, and he probably thinks he's going to have to play for all his chips if he decides to play this pot.
Now, remember earlier he pushed Lane right out of a pot. What's he going to do this time?
Patrick's in great shape with the king-queen. He's up against 5 high. Yeah, this week he's trying to give himself a birthday present of $1 million. He's got a shot to do it.
Just tremendous pressure. What a raise by Lane Flack. Is he going to get away with it?
But he's going to lay it down.
It's going to work for Lane.
And Vince, that shows you why he's one of the great players in the world, is because he'll make a move like that without a hand.
Oh, it is tremendous. The Flack man is back.
Lane, the attack Flack.
To want to do everything at the table, learn about your players, think about every hand, takes heart.
Lane back-to-back Flack was once poker's biggest star, but even the brightest stars burn out.
When I lost my heart, I was taking shots of desperation. And I don't do that anymore. It was like a feeding frenzy to get my chips. I no longer was feared. You know, like when you get on a horse to ride it. If that horse knows you're not going to control it, it will control you. And you can see that in their eyes. I made some errors that I was disappointed in, and I overcame it.
And now with his family near and his priorities in order, Lane's ready to shine again.
This is one of the bigger tournaments for me so far, and it's built my confidence up, and I really feel as if I'm back.
I thought it was back-to-back, Dad.
That's right, Mike.
One of the greats, Lane Flack. We are having fun here at Playa Linda Resort. It is a beautiful day, about 85 degrees, balmy winds.
3 out of these 4 players actually bought in with cash, came down to Aruba and bought their way into this tournament. Eric Brennis qualified online to win his entry.
And it is on Eric Brennis. This time he's got Queen 7 of hearts and a very good tan. And he folds.
Lane folds.
Lane Flack not only folds, he gets up, walks away.
Well, Mike picks up a 10-9 in the small blind.
He wants to play. Round to Patrick. He's got Jack 8.
Patrick knocks the table, says, okay, give us a flop. So the battle of the blinds taking place here. The flop is 6-6-7. Mike Manasow with a gut shot, straight draw checks.
Doesn't help Patrick. But he's got poker guts. There he goes with a solid bet.
Bets 90,000. And Mike Manasow quickly calling with the straight draw.
The mouth wants to be fed here. It's going to be a long shot card. Look at this. He caught it.
He has hit his straight, and Patrick has made top pair now with the 2 8s.
Tremendous card here for Mike.
Now let's see how he plays it. He checks.
Yes, he's going to be crafty about it. But Patrick quickly checking behind him.
Wow.
Didn't fall for the trap.
What a check by Patrick there.
Here's the river.
And a jack comes off.
Oh.
Now Patrick has made jacks and 8s.
Oh.
Mike Manasow has a straight. He's going to bet 200,000.
Possible devastation here for Patrick. Catches his 2 paired jacks and 8s, but he's got this guy that has a straight on his right.
He's trying to analyze this hand. He knows he bet 90,000 on the flop and got called when it came 6-6-7. Now, did his opponent have a 6 in his hand? If so, he's beat. Does his opponent have a 4-5 in his hand? If so, he's beat.
Well, it's almost creepy right now how quiet Mike Manasow is. It's just unnatural.
You can see the look of concern on Patrick's face, Vince, but it'd be hard to imagine he could lay down the top 2 pair, wouldn't it?
I call.
He does call it.
Yes, he pays it off.
You said call.
I said call.
Now, verbal bets are binding. He said, I call.
Very honorable. He says, of course I called.
And he shakes his head there a little bit, Vince, and you can see why. He bet on the flop, and his opponent called him with a gut shot straight draw and then hit it. I'll tell you, I like the way this kid plays poker, Vince. He lost that pot, but I like the way he played it.
You're right about that. He got off cheap. Meantime, Mike Manasow is so excited, he can't talk.
The Aruba Poker Classic is heating up. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Heads up, which hand has the best odds against pocket aces? Heads up, which hand has the best odds against pocket aces?
Welcome back to the final table of the Aruba Poker Classic. I'm Shauna Hyatt, and here's a recap of the action so far.
In Aruba, the battle on the beach started with Lane Flack turning his ace-high raft into a full boat, shipping Dr. Vic Fye and his big slick back to Oklahoma. Then, Lane used his own big slick to force John Juanda off into the sunset. Short stack Mike the Mouth Manasow showed no mercy as he cracked Lane's pocket.